Yes, sir, mister. You can always tell a first-rate town by the way the people treat a stranger. Now, you know we're first class around here because this is genuine bay rum I'm throwing in, absolutely free.
I appreciate that word free, sir, because I'm down to my last dollar.
Well, you got a nice way about you, mister. But if you want to make money around this town, your strong back will help you more than your good manners.
Oh?
The mines, they're running full blast around here, paying top dollar, too. The cattlemen, on the other hand, are suffering. What's good for one is bad for the other. Why, Ben Cartwright's been coming to town the past 2 days trying to get men for the roundup. But they're all taking jobs in the mines. Guess you can't blame a man when you stack up the difference in wages. Ben sure is persistent, though.
Which one is Little Joe?
The one on the Pinto. Hey, how come you knew his name? I thought you said you was a stranger around here.
Oh, everybody's heard about the Ponderosa, the Cartwrights.
You heading for the mines?
I always go where the real money is.
Harry, you sure you want to sign on?
Well, I'll tell you how it is, Mr. Ben. If I go to the mines, they're going to pay me too much money.
Too much money?
Well, what can a man do with money but spend it on Saturday nights for whiskey and women? Now, at my age, too much of both ain't good for me. Now, with what you pay me, I can stay healthy.
You got yourself a job, Harry.
An explanation like that deserves beer, Harry. Come on, Harry. I hear you need hands.
That's right.
Well, I'm looking for a job.
We're looking for cowhands.
I know.
Don't mind me asking, have you ever pushed cattle before?
Yeah, I've done it before, and like I say, I need a job.
Well, if it's money you're needing, why haven't you tried the mines?
You see, a man should only go below ground once when they plant him there in a pine box. Me, I like fresh air.
Oh, that sounds fair enough, Pa.
Where have you worked before, Mr.?
Stafford, Clay Stafford.
You worked any ranches before?
The Circle J and Lazy Bar up in Oregon Territory. Lazy Bar is one of the biggest ranches up there.
Ever worked around here?
Well, no local references, if that's what you mean.
He's healthy and he needs a job, Pa. What more do you want?
Wages are $8 a week. Payday every Friday and a bonus at the end of the job.
Sounds fair.
All right. Clay Stafford.
Right.
Very good. We'll be leaving in about an hour. Doesn't look like anybody else in the lineup here. I'll get some supplies inside.
Right.
Hey, thanks for putting in a good word with your father.
If it made any difference, you'd have gotten the job anyway. We need hands. Hey, where you from, Stafford?
Call me Clay. From a lot of places.
Now, a man only gets born in one.
Well, that'd be New Orleans.
Hey, no kidding. New Orleans? My mother was born there. That's a coincidence.
Yeah, that sure is. For the Cartwrights. Well, this is downright luxury here. Solid floor in the bunkhouse, springs in the beds, not even any busted window panes. You ain't been doing much riding lately, huh? How do you mean?
Well, hardly any calluses on your hands.
Wear gloves.
Well, there'll be work aplenty starting tomorrow. I think I'll go in and try out them springs right now.
Huh. It's a pretty fancy holster you got there.
Yeah, it's a McKendrick special.
Looks like they left the front end of it off.
Well, you see, you don't draw. The gun slips out.
Oh, yeah. Reckon you'd be ready to fire that in a wink, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's fast.
Won't be needing anything that fast around here.
Harry, I'm almost too tired to eat.
Yeah, but this is good, Mr. Bentley.
That smells good.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a day's work that'll last a week.
Been societal sore since I was young.
Well, I'm ready, Mr. Cartwright.
All right.
See you.
Yeah. Where's he going?
Back to the ranch. Gonna help little Joe bring out the supplies.
How'd you talk him into that? After the day's work he put in.
I didn't. He volunteered.
Beaver for work, ain't he?
We could use a couple more like him.
Hey, Clay, what are you doing back here?
Thought I'd give you a hand with supplies.
Hey, thanks. I can use a hand as soon as I finish the coffee.
Some place you got here.
Yeah, it sure is. My pa built this place with his bare hands. I was born in that little room upstairs.
Thought you said you were from New Orleans.
No, that's where my pa married my mother. They were married there, and then they came back here to settle down.
You remember your mother?
No, not too much. Just what my pa told me about her. He always said she was like having spring in the house the year round. Always laughing, full of fun and warmth.
Guess she must have looked pretty nice, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess she was about the prettiest woman in New Orleans. Hey, I've got a picture of her right here. I always carry it with me. What do you think?
Like having spring in the house all year round. Prettiest picture I've ever seen. Sure wish this was mine.
What?
Oh, it was a silly thing for me to say. I was just thinking how I never knew my mother. Kind of wish she looked like this. Hey, we better head out if we're gonna get back to camp before sundown, huh?
I guess we better. Those supplies won't take care of themselves.
Thanks, little girl.
would you be good enough to see your way clear to give me a $2 advance on my next week's pay?
Well, Harry, it's barely 11 o'clock. Have you run through your $8 already?
Well, it's this way, Mr. Ben. Now, these miners around here, they're drinking more whiskey and giving more to the girls. So I got to raise my sights to meet the competition.
Well, Harry, what about your health that you're so worried about?
It's Saturday night. I'll worry about my health Sunday morning. Thank you, sir.
Your lucky night, huh?
Yeah, it sure is.
You just come into town.
Yeah, the first of the week.
Where you been keeping yourself?
Herding cattle?
You're a cowpoke, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Ideal. Hey, Mel, we're wasting a lot of time with this little glass. Can't you give me something a little bigger? Yeah. Full house.
4 trays.
You say you're a cowhand?
Yeah, that's right. I've been working the Ponderosa.
You say you're a cheat. We work in the mines hard for our money. But being under the ground don't hurt my eyes none. Looks to me like you low-carded.
I see it's my lucky night.
And I say we want our money back.
Every man to his own opinion.
Time you get miners and cattlemen together, they just itching for something to happen. And this thing was just about what they were waiting for.
Joseph, the sheriff's right. It's best the boy leave town.
Pa, it is not right and it's not fair. Now, we all know he shot in self-defense.
Maybe so. But do you know whether or not he low-carded?
Roy, a man is innocent until proven guilty.
A stranger, a fast gun, and a card sharp all wrapped up into one package? Now, that's something Virginia City don't need.
Oh, wait a minute, Roy. Wait a minute. What do you mean, a stranger? Everybody's a stranger until they settle someplace. And as for being a fast gun, if he wasn't, he'd be dead instead of the miner. So don't use that.
All right, I'll grant you that. But you ain't answering the main point. Was he cheating or wasn't?
But the point is there is no proof the man was cheating.
That is not the point. Little Joe, when I first took this job, and that was a few years ago, I made an arrangement with myself. I said, Roy, the best way to handle trouble is to avoid it. And it's worked out pretty well. Now, if this fella Stafford stays around town, I'm just laying myself wide open to more killings. Can't you see that? Now, that's why he's got to go.
No, I can't see it. It's not right, Roy, and it's not fair.
Come on, Joseph. Sheriff knows best. It's his job. I'll take care of it, Roy. The young man will leave in the morning.
Thanks, Ben. So long, little Joe.
Well, right is right, and this isn't.
Now, Joseph, you're doing a lot of talking about right is right, and proof, and facts. Well, what facts do you have? What do you know about him? He worked a couple of ranches up in Oregon Territory. What else? But that isn't the main point. If he stays in Virginia City, he may be killed. Now, Roy's right. He knows best. Come on.
Are you heading out?
Yeah, I figured I'd have to move on sooner or later. Not quite this soon.
Sorry to see you go.
I put my time in here. Your father got his money's worth.
Oh, I know that.
Besides that, your father and the sheriff made it pretty clear that my welcome had run out.
Yeah, I know. I still think they're wrong about that. I told them so last night.
I mean, you stuck up for me? Argued against your father?
Why not? What's right is right.
Is that all?
No, it's not all. I don't know. We got along pretty good. Kind of thought we could be friends.
You remember that picture of your mother you showed me?
Yeah.
Can I see it again?
What for?
Just let me see it. See, this isn't just a picture of a beautiful woman. She's my mother, too.
There's something I don't like about closed doors.
Man's got a right to talk in private.
Yeah, but when it's family, I don't like to be left outside.
How do you know it's about family?
When a brother shows up from nowhere, it ain't family.
Maybe.
Pa wants to talk to Clay alone.
Of course, she told me she'd been married before. She also told me she'd had a child. But she said the baby had died.
They lied. They lied to her and they lied to me.
They lied. Who?
My grandparents, my father's folks. They were against the marriage from the very beginning. They hated my mother. Didn't think she was good enough for their son. Well, when we all got the fever, my father died. They told my mother that I had died also. And see, when I was old enough to ask questions, they told me that she was dead.
And after all this time, how did you find us?
Well, last year I shook the wander dust off my heels and went back to New Orleans. Guess I got sentimental, wanted to put a flower or two on Mother's grave. But of course, that's when I found out there wasn't any grave. After that, I checked with the Hall of Records and around, and that's when I found out about you being married to my mother and about the Ponderosa.
Clay, why didn't you tell us all this when you first got here?
Well, I didn't want to push myself into a family. I don't know why I came here. Guess because I wanted to see my brother. Oh, and find out if I liked you or not. No, none of this changes the fact that I better be moving on. Those miners are pretty hot under the collar.
Oh, you'll be all right here in the Ponderosa.
Are you sure, sir?
Of course. They won't come out here.
No, sir. That's not what I mean.
What do you mean?
I mean, do you believe me?
Of course I do. Of course I believe you. News is rather startling. You have to admit that. Out of the blue, so to speak. Takes a little getting used to. Look, we have plenty of room in here. Why don't you move in from the bunkhouse?
Thank you, sir.
Adam? Lost little Joe sleep?
Yeah, it's kind of late.
I guess I should have asked Hoss, little Joe, and Clay asleep. Suppose I'll be asking that from now on.
Yeah, I guess you will. Well, he sure came out of the blue.
Hmm?
Well, he did kind of come out of nowhere.
Where are you driving at?
Well, I hope you don't mind, but Horace and I were kind of talking it over, and we, well, don't you think you ought to check his story out?
You and Hoss think that you might have made up the whole thing?
Well, we think it's important enough to know for sure. I mean, it wouldn't do any harm to send a telegram to Judge Wharton down in New Orleans, would it?
What are you doing in town?
Just rode in all the way from the ranch to ask you the same question.
Your pa said that there were some supplies that needed picking up.
You knew you were the one that was going to pick them up?
What difference does it make? They needed picking up.
Look, Pa told you we're safe on the ranch, but not here in town.
But it's working hours. The miners are underground.
Just half of them. They work on shifts. Now, let's get this wagon loaded and get out of here.
Brother Joe, you worry too much. What you need is a beer to help you relax. Since we're in town, why don't we take care of that, huh?
Hey, wait a minute and use your head. Now, the town is hot. The saloon's one place you're going to run into trouble.
Maybe you won't have to look that far. Seems to be here right now.
Pretty hot day.
Maybe a couple of beers would cool us all off.
Since Saturday, we're kind of particular about the company we keep. Take a horse thief, you can see the horse he steals. A fellow robs a bank, well, there's the money. But a card cheat, well, if he's good at it, it's over and done with before you know what's happened.
Sam hadn't been drinking, nothing would have happened. There was no reason for it.
Well, Sam ain't here to argue the point, but we are. And we aim to do more than just argue. You figure on using that gun?
I never draw first. Just like to keep the street clean.
You think one gun's enough?
2 guns, gentlemen. Now, why don't you all just forget it? We don't want anybody to get hurt.
Why don't you keep your nose out of this, Cartwright? Friend or no friend, he's gonna get his.
He's not just a friend, he's my brother.
All right. There'll be another day.
Can use that beer now.
Well, couldn't we just load the wagon and leave town?
Maybe you're right, brother. Well, the beans are on the fire. We'll have a drink.
You better take it easy. We gotta be back to camp before light.
Here's just the thing that'll help us take it easy. Here, drink up.
You sure you got enough? Hey, this is whiskey.
Well, not exactly.
Well, what is it then?
Pulque.
Okay, what's that?
Well, it's a drink they have down in Mexico. They make it out of cactus. When you were loading up the wagon, I got it from Manuel back at the livery stable. Come on, drink up.
It's hot, but it's good.
Yeah, just like riding a nice, easy bronc. But when he discovers that burr under his saddle, watch out.
Don't worry about me. I can take it.
You know, this is better than a saloon.
Yeah, you're right, and the company's better, too. Hey, how'd you happen to learn about this,
Pulque?
Pulque, yeah.
Oh, when I was down in Mexico, it's the only kind of liquor they have down there, so you have to learn to like it.
What are you doing down there?
Fighting with Juarez.
Fighting with Juarez. What, in his army?
Yeah, I was down there for 2 years, a lieutenant.
Man, how'd you happen to get mixed up in a thing like that?
Well, the pay was good, and I happen to believe in what he was fighting for.
Yeah, he was fighting that emperor, Maximilian, wasn't
Yeah, that's right.
he? Yeah, I read a little bit about that somewhere.
You know, Juarez was a real Mexican, not a Spaniard. He was just like one of the thousands of peasants he led. A great man.
You know, it's kind of sad he had to fail.
Oh, he'll come back. And when he does, maybe I'll go back too. Hey, you know, we're getting much too serious. Come on, drink up, will you?
All right.
Hey, look, I'll tell you about the girls that used to follow the army. Now, look, there was this one gal. Her name was Conchita. Oh, Conchita. So, you see, when we ran out, Conchita went right through the enemy lines and brought back a couple of jugs.
Brought back a couple of jugs. Hey, look. Now, that is the kind of girl, that Conchita. That's the kind of girl that I would like to have.
Hey, you know, Conchita, she had a sister, Rosita. Rosita.
Hey, listen now, in all seriousness, we ought to get down there and get that Conchita and that Rosita.
I'll drink to that. Viva Juarez.
Viva! Viva! Viva la revolución! Viva, viva! 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 Viva pulque!
Pulque!
There's a lot of pulque in there. Oh, that Conchita and Bonita.
Ah, viva your Rosita.
Viva my Rosita and Bonitas and Conchita. Viva my brother!
Hey, viva my brother! Viva!
Viva, brother! We've got to get down there and viva that Conchita and Bonita. Ah, viva!
Good morning, Joe.
Morning. Morning. After a night of chewing the fat, nothing like a big breakfast to get you back in action.
Hey, yeah, that's right. Speaking of fat, I'm gonna have me some more of that fat back. He really ain't nothing quite like some good old salt sow belly for breakfast, right, Joe? No.
Oh, sorry, fellas. Something wrong?
No, I'm raring to go this morning.
It's too bad we drank all that pulque. You'd like it.
You know, now, me, I personally prefer a great big glass of hot whiskey, about 100 proof.
Oh, yeah. I guess we're just unlucky, huh?
Well, morning, boys. Time to get to work. Oh, morning, Joseph. Say, I've never seen you look better.
Oh, I'm feeling real good, too.
Oh, well, that's real fine, because we sure got a lot of work to do today. You, boys had quite a chat last night.
Yeah, I guess we overdid it.
Well, I think he'll live. Boys, I got to ride back to the ranch. Keep things moving, eh?
Right, pal. That Clay sure is a likable fella, isn't he?
Yeah, sure is. You know, if me or you, either one, brought Joe home in the condition he was in last night, we wouldn't have heard the last of it till yet.
Well, that's for sure.
What do you mean a condition? I'm in. I'm not in any kind of condition. I heard what Pa said was get started.
Gee, I'm sorry, fella. What's the matter? We heard you wanted to see us.
Yeah, I got that telegraph back from New Orleans.
What'd it say?
Story checks out.
What's the matter, then?
Albert Wharton is a very good lawyer. When he investigates, he gets all the facts. Marie was his mother. He was born in New Orleans, raised by his grandparents. It's all true.
What's the trouble, Paul?
Something that Alvin found out that happened 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah, a little town in Texas, Chico Wells. Seems there was a card game. Clay was winning a lot of money. Man accused him of cheating. Reached for his gun.
Clay killed him.
Yeah.
Yes. Sort of stretching the long arm of coincidence, ain't it?
I'm afraid that's how a lot of people will look at it.
How do you look at it?
What are you going to tell little Joe?
Well, he's going to have to face the fact that there can be weaknesses in people, even in those you care about.
You going to let Clay stay around?
Guess we'll have to give him the benefit of whatever doubts we have about him.
I don't understand. What is he guilty of?
Joseph, I'm not accusing him of anything. But we both know how he's lived.
All right, he's led a different life. He's been alone. But it doesn't change the fact that he's my brother and he's still part of this family.
Well, of course he is. I'm not disputing that. But he must realize, and you must help him realize, that, well, things are different here. Tragedies like the other night with the miner.
You keep saying that. Now, it was not his fault, and the only reason you'd have for saying that is because you think he was cheating.
The only person who can answer that is Clay himself.
All right, I'll talk to him.
I think it might be better if I talked with him.
Now, please let me talk to him, Bob. Please let me be the one.
All right.
Thanks. Hey, Clay, you know, I've been thinking. Now, the roundup's going to be over in a couple of days, and I thought you and I could take a trip somewhere.
Huh?
Well, you know, Viva Juarez. Kind of like to go down to Mexico, see how the revolution's coming along.
You know, it's not all just fun down there, Joe. As I told you the other night, a revolution's a pretty serious thing.
I remember. I remember most of it. Look, if it's not Mexico, it'll be some other place. I don't care. I just want to take a trip and have some fun. We're brothers, aren't we? Now, the roundup's over, we'll collect our pay and take off.
Okay, when the roundup's over, we'll figure out where we'll go.
Good enough.
Clay? We'll have the last of these strays rounded up by tomorrow. You're so busy, I haven't had much chance to talk.
Yes, sir.
I mean, since Joe talked to you.
Well, you mean about going to Mexico?
What's this about Mexico?
Well, the other night we talked about the 2 years I spent with Juarez in Mexico. He thought now, after the roundup, it might be fun to go down there.
I see. That's all he talked to you about?
Yes, sir. Well, what was he supposed to talk about, sir?
Now, Clay, we understand what a rough time you've had these past 10 or 12 years, making your way alone. And understand that your way of life is different from ours as a result. Your values are different. The past is past. You're part of the family now, and we'd like you to stay part of the family. Hope that our way of life, our values, will be yours from now on.
Well, sir, I don't know.
You don't know what?
I mean, I appreciate what you've said, and you're very generous, but I've got to be honest with you. I'm not sure that this is my kind of life.
Well, are you sure it isn't your kind of life?
No, sir.
Would you try it?
Yes, sir.
Good. Let's forget these romantic notions about Mexico.
Well, that was Joe's idea.
Well, he was influenced by you. Try to use your influence the right way.
Yes, sir, I'll try.
Good. See you at the house.
Thanks again, Mr. Walsh.
Healthy bonus for all hands this year.
That sure is. It's one roundup that ended up better than it started.
Be careful with that money, Joe.
I will, sir. Thank you.
Hold it, Cartwright. Go in the alley. Come on, move. All right. Where is he?
Where's who?
That new brother of yours. We've been waiting for him. What's the matter? Is he scared to come to town?
Nobody's scared. Look, we just don't want any trouble, that's all.
Well, it ain't always easy to avoid trouble. Guess we'll have to give you a message for that brother. Go on, take him, boys. Let's get him in the house. Easy, easy.
How is he, sir?
He's pretty badly beaten up, but he'll be all right.
Did he tell you how it happened?
Yes. Apparently the miners meant it as a message to you.
I figured that's what it was. I'm sorry, sir. I should have taken off before now. I'll pack my things tonight.
No, Clay, that's no answer. As I told you, you're family now. We'll handle it together.
No, sir, that's not what I mean. You see, trouble's been following me all my life. No matter what I do, no matter where I go. And now it's followed me here.
Well, running is not going to solve that problem. We'll handle it somehow. I'll get some broth that I've been heating up. Now, you drink that.
Where is everybody?
Oh, Hoss and Adam are paying off the man, and they'll be back soon. Clay's downstairs.
Does he know about the miners?
Yeah, he knows.
Well, I sure hope he doesn't blame himself.
You stop worrying about what other people are thinking. You drink that broth.
Hey, tell Clay I want to see him.
Best thing for you to do right now, young man, is rest.
I'll rest as soon as I see Clay.
You drink up that broth, and I'll get him.
Thanks.
Clay? Clay?
Oh, where's Clay?
Joe Clay's left. I checked his room. His things are gone.
He's gone. Tell me what you said to him, Pa.
I didn't say anything to him, Joe. I didn't even see him. I'd already asked him to stay, be part of the family. Son, he's old enough to make his own decisions. The important thing for you right now is to rest. Take care of yourself. Good night, son.
Good night, Pa. Hey, why'd you leave without me?
You better get off that horse before you fall off. Come on over here and sit down.
Hey, no, thanks. I just didn't stand up. I think I feel better.
Sorry I don't have any pulque, but here. Viva coffee.
Oh, last thing I need's any more of that pulque. Thanks. Why'd you leave without me?
Just like I told your pa. Trouble's been following me all my life. I mean, look what happened to you just on account of me.
That's no reason. I've been in fights before.
Yeah, but this time you were lucky. It was their fists. Next time it could be their guns.
Look, Clay, we're brothers. Your fight is my fight. This thing with the miners, we can settle together. Look, you have family now. Don't leave.
It won't work, Joe.
Clay, we're brothers. We can make it work.
Look, let me explain something to you. Just because we're brothers doesn't mean we have to think alike, be alike, do alike. Yes, it happens with some brothers, like you and Adam and Hoss.
Why can't it work with you and me?
Because it just won't. Look, you lived all your life on the Ponderosa, and you like it. But you see, I couldn't. It would be like being in a cage.
All right, then I won't ask you to stay at the Ponderosa now. We'll travel around together. You feel you're ready to settle down.
You could no more live my life than I could live yours.
Well, how do you know? I've never tried it.
Look, you saw what happened to that miner. It's happened before, and it can happen again.
Maybe things like that won't happen, Clay, if we're together.
No, it couldn't. Look, you just get in my way.
Clay, you don't mean that. You know it.
Look, will you get it through your head that I don't want you along? I don't need your family, and I don't need you. Now, will you go home, Joe? Where you belong?
You bring it back someday.
You all right, son?
Hey, Adam. See little Joe?
No sign of him.
No reckon he went back to the ranch.
Nah, he's probably found some little girl who couldn't resist his boyish charm.
Good notion to take your friend on over there for free.
Yeah, well, let me stop you. It's just my brother. Still say I could have stuck with you for 4 rounds.
Yeah, well, we'll try it again sometime when your old mate Ants aren't around. All right, boys, drinks on Dave Donovan.
Go get a drink on Dave. We didn't know you had a bet with that feller.
You think you could ask me first before you butt your nose in and make a fool out of me in front of everybody?
So we made a mistake. You never get sore. You've been fighting all over town.
Look, it's my life and I like it. Now, I don't tell you what to do. I don't want you to tell me what to do. Stop drinking my beer. I want you to quit following me around.
Joe, there ain't nobody following you around. First of all, we ain't got the strength. We just came to tell you Paul wants to see you.
And what about?
He just wants to see you, that's all.
Yeah, will you tell Pod?
Tell him what, little brother?
Yeah. What's the message?
Tell Pa I'll be coming along. A few more drinks. Like you boys along, but I know at your age you gotta have some sleep.
Just a moment, young man.
Hey, Pop.
In this family, we talk to each other. We don't mumble under our breath. Come here. I'd like to know what happened in town this afternoon.
Nothing happened. I was just having a little fun, that's all.
I don't like the idea of a son of mine brawling around town like a drunken cowboy.
Now, Pa, I wasn't drunk and I wasn't brawling. If you two are going to tell it, why don't you tell it straight?
You know, if you don't start using a decent tone of voice with me, I might just have to give you that punch in the jaw I owe you.
Yeah, why don't you start right now?
That's just enough out of both of you.
Paul, little Joe's been spoiling for a fight for 3 weeks. Why don't you let him have it?
Well, come on. That goes for you, too.
Now, just a minute. This will go for you 3. If you can't talk to each other without fighting, get on up to bed. Now, go on. Not you, Joseph. I want to talk to you. Now, what's this all about?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You're spending quite a lot of time away from the Ponderosa lately. I'd like to know why.
Why can't I have some fun without the whole family jumping on me?
I'm not jumping on you. Sure, I think everybody should have a little fun. But at the proper times and with the proper companions.
I don't know. Oh, it's because I'm the youngest or what? No matter what I want to do or where I want to go, there's Hoss and Adam, ready to tell me what to do and what not to do. And help? Oh, yeah, help, whether I want it or not.
Well, don't you think we ought to help each other?
Not all the time, Pa. I've spent my whole life on the Ponderosa seeing the same old faces and doing the same old things.
I'd always figured that the Ponderosa was your future as well as that of your brothers.
Pa, how can I prove if I'm good at anything by myself?
Joe, you don't have to prove yourself to us.
I'm not trying to prove myself to you, Pa. I'm trying to prove myself to me.
What is it you're trying to prove?
I don't know whether I'm good enough, whether I'm old enough, or whether I'm smart enough to do something by myself without 3 people waiting there to help me every time I stub my toe. Pa, it's not that I don't appreciate what you...
Well, I guess every young man wants to strike out on his own. It's just that Father doesn't like to face up to it.
I'm sorry. I don't know what gets into me sometimes. I get restless or something. I don't know. Hey, what are you doing here?
No? When you were in town, you must have heard about that new mine they're opening up on the other side of Sun Mountain.
Yeah.
Well, Bert Crawford of the Sun Mountain Company is asking for bids to supply the timbering.
Bids? Will Povey was in town lining the men up. He says he's got that contract in the bag.
I guess he will have, as usual.
Yeah. Hey, what's this little circle you got here?
Hmm?
Hey, isn't it that stand of fir right above Buckhorn Meadow?
Yeah.
Well, that's 10 miles closer to the mine than any timber Will Povey's gonna bring in. You're not thinking of bidding, are you?
Well, I'd sure like to. But as Adam points out, most of that 10 miles is straight up and down. It's too tough a job. Anyway, we've got enough to keep us busy right here at home.
Yeah, that's something else I wanted to say. I haven't been pulling my share of the load here at the ranch, and I'm gonna change that starting tomorrow.
Sure. Well, I'm for bed. How about you?
No, I think I'll just stay up and read for a while, Pa. I don't worry. I'll get to bed in time and get up early and start working.
Lights on.
Good night, Pa.
What are you doing there? You've been up all night?
Yeah, Pa, I have. Here, take a look. I got it all figured out.
You got what figured out?
How to get that buckhorn fur to the Sun Mountain mine and beat Will Povey's
Oh,
price.
now, Joe.
Well, I can
Adam and
do
Hoss
it.
went up. What?
I can do it. I've got it all the figures right here. Look.
What's this?
It's the most papers I've seen you with since you was in school.
And up early, too.
Well, Joe's decided that he's going to bid on that Sun Mountain timber contract for us.
The timber contract?
Well, we'd agreed it was too big a risk.
Yeah, what about Will Povey?
Yeah, what about Will Povey?
I thought about Povey. I'll underbid him by plenty and still make a good profit.
Well, you know Povey can play pretty rough.
That's fine with me, too. He wants to play rough. I'll hire a crew that plays rougher.
Yeah? Who you got in mind?
I figure for a foreman, Dave Donovan. He's young and he's tough.
Donovan?
He's a good man, Pa.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
You're sure you can do it?
I know I can do it.
Well, I say let Joe do as he wants to.
Well, good luck, little brother.
Thanks.
Tell you what, I'll get you Jake Weber. He'll make you a great foreman. He's a good woodman, too.
Adam, I told you I've already got a foreman, Dave Donovan.
All right, I'll take a few days off and help you myself.
Hey, yeah, me too. The range can wait, can it, Paul?
I don't need any help. Now, look, this is my idea, it's my job, and I want to do it by myself. Is that agreed, Pa?
Well, see you around. Good luck.
Joe? Come here. I want you to do something for me.
Well, what's that?
Break these.
Break these? All right. Wait a minute. You wouldn't think they'd... Holy... Well, I can't do it, Bud.
That's right. When they're together like this, you can't break them. But singly, they can be broken. By himself, each one of us can be broken. Never let pride stand in your way, son. We're all here if you need us.
I'll remember that, Pa. I better get started on this idea. Those trees aren't going to cut themselves.
Good afternoon, Mr. Povey.
Bert, here's my bid.
Getting in just under the wire, 6 minutes.
What's old Hawkins doing out here from San Francisco?
He's just looking around. I'll still make the final decision, Will.
I'm counting on that. This is an important contract.
You've got the low bid. You're as good as in.
If you want your cut, I'd better be.
I think I'm gonna just check my figures over on this bid, make sure I got everything correct before I turn it in.
Man, you're as pitched as a fox in a forest fire.
I know I am.
You bidding?
Uh-huh.
Cutting it kind of fine, aren't you? Bid's closed any minute now.
Yeah, well, I'll make it.
Kind of young to be bidding on a big contract like this.
Look, do me a favor. Don't talk to me right now. I'm trying to add these figures up, and it's kind of hard for me. All right? 17 times 7.
119.
Thanks.
That's your bid?
Uh-huh, yep.
Awful low, isn't it?
No, it's an honest bid. It's about time Sun Mountain got one.
I don't follow that, son.
It's real simple. They've been getting bilked out of their timber contracts for a long time.
Well, now, wouldn't the folks that run the company put a stop to that sort of thing?
No, you mean stop it. What do they know about it? The company's probably run by some fat old money bag sitting behind a desk in San Francisco. Couldn't tell you beans about the mining business.
Bid's closed.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute, got one more.
I'm afraid that bid's too late.
What do you mean too late? I've been here all the time. I was just rechecking my figures.
Bid's acceptable, Mr. Crawford.
Yes. Yes, of course. Well, Mr. Hawkins, president of Sun Mountain, and I will now examine the bids. Gentlemen, we'll announce our decision in a few minutes.
Your papers, young man.
I don't know what your name is, mister, but I want to thank you a lot.
The name's Hawkins.
You look kind of sick. Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm in great shape. It's called the president of the mining company and old fat money bags.
Gather round, gentlemen.
Mr. Crawford and I have examined all the bids. For instance, Mr. Povey here has offered a very good price.
Well, I've always tried to give Sun Mountain the best deal I can, Mr. Hawkins. Crawford here can tell you that.
Yes, indeed.
This time, I'm afraid it isn't quite good enough. We have a few that are somewhat lower. In fact, Joseph Cartwright here is considerably below you, Mr. Povey.
Well, he can deliver ponderosa pine, Mr. Hawkins, but the contract calls for fir.
And that's what I intend to deliver.
Well, you're not talking about that stand of fir up above Buckhorn Meadow, are you?
Yeah, it might be.
Well, you'd never get it out. That country goes straight up and down between the mine and there.
Is that true, Mr. Cartwright?
Yes, sir, that's true, but I've taken that into consideration in my bid.
Mr. Hawkins, you can't take this...
Quiet, please. I like your spunk, young man, and your price. Joseph Cartwright wins the contract.
Thank you, sir.
See that you deliver that timber, young man.
Don't worry, you can count on me. And, you're a lot thinner than I pictured you.
Good luck, son.
I'm sorry, Will. I did my best.
Yeah, I'll bet you this is liable to cost you quite a bit of money.
Both of us.
Unless we can do something about it.
You son of a gun, you did it!
Well, wait till Pa hears this.
Like I said, it's a lot of money.
Joe Cartwright. Say, that bid of yours came as quite a surprise to me, young fella.
Well, Mr. Crawford, I kind of got the idea you didn't want me to get that contract.
Whatever's best for the company.
I'm glad to hear you say that. We'll do a good job for you.
Fine. Now, just as soon as you post the performance bond, we'll sign the contract.
Post the what?
Performance bond. $5,000 cash.
So wait a minute. There's nothing about that in the contract. Mr. Hawkins didn't even mention it.
He didn't have to. It's company policy, standard procedure in all our contracts. Well, you can ask him yourself if you want to.
You do have the 5,000, don't you? You wouldn't have time to ride out to the Ponderosa and get it. I need it by sundown. That's company policy, too.
I think I understand. Can you get your money by sundown?
Well, looks like I don't have a job after all, huh?
Don't worry, you got a job as soon as we get to the bank.
You know, I think I'm going to enjoy seeing how a man gets his hands on 5,000 great big dollars.
You know something? I'm going to kind of enjoy seeing it myself. Let's go.
Well, Joe, if your father wants to co-sign the loan, of course you can have it. You can have twice that amount.
Mr. Simpson, I don't have time for that. Isn't there some way? Couldn't I make it a personal loan?
I'm afraid that's something else again. What do you want the money for?
For a performance bond on the Sun Mountain timber contract.
How'd you get that contract away from Will Povey?
By underbidding him. More than $10,000.
I'd say you made a very foolish bid. Why, the wagons alone are...
I don't need wagons. I'm gonna build a flume.
A flume?
That's right, I'm gonna build a flume right down to the Truckee River. Here. I'm gonna float those logs right down to the mine. It's gonna work. I figured it all out.
Well, Joe, that might work. Did your brother Adam figure this out for you?
My brother Adam had nothing to do with it. I figured this out all by myself. Well, do I get the loan or not?
I'll grant the loan. But remember, if you don't deliver, you're out $5,000, plus the interest.
I'll deliver. Don't you worry about it. I'll deliver. You have your receipt book with you, Crawford? Come on, I got a lot of things to do. Let me have the receipt.
Yeah, well, you heard the man, Crawford. Count the money and give him a receipt.
Yes. Yes, of course.
Hey, you know, I don't think I'm ever going to get over the look on that Crawford's face when I handed him that $5,000 in cash. He never thought I was going to raise that money.
Why do you figure that?
I mean, why? It's a lot of money, that's why.
Your name's Cartwright, ain't it?
Well, that had nothing to do with it. It was my idea about the flume that sold him on giving me that loan.
Ah, come on, Joe. You know you had your family behind you. What kind of chance would I have raising $5,000?
Yeah, what difference does it make? We got the money, didn't we? I want you to go out and give me some men.
Sure. First thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning, nothing. You're going to do it tonight. First thing in the morning, we're going to work.
All right, all right. I'll eat some money.
What for?
You know, spread around, buy some drinks,
Yeah,
get the men.
You're right. It's getting thinner.
Say, while you're in there, do you think maybe I could get about a $50 advance? I'm a little short myself.
I don't see why not. You're my foreman, aren't you?
See you later, Joe.
Right.
Evening. I'm Jake Weber.
Jake, yeah. Joe Cartwright. Nice to see you.
I heard tell you got that Sun Mountain contract. I'm open to work right now.
Well, I've already got a foreman, Dave Donovan here.
Hi.
Excuse me, I got some work to do.
Right, good luck. He's a pretty good man.
Well, that's as may be. You're gonna need a couple of straw bosses, and I need the work.
Jake, tell me something. My brother Adam sent you?
Nope.
My pa?
If you don't want me, just say so.
I'm sorry, Jake. It's got nothing to do with it. I can use you.
Say the word, and I can fetch along a lot of my old crew.
Good. That's great. I can use every man I can get. I'm gonna camp tomorrow morning up in Buckhorn Meadow.
I'll see you on the job, boss. I'll have the men start setting up.
Fine. It's good to have you with us.
Thanks.
Thank you, boys, one and all.
Now, you're what I call a pretty fair country poker player.
Yep. Cards are like the old reliable meat in the pot to me.
Yeah, well, it cleans me.
Bart, keep more whiskey over here. Hey, you're not leaving so early, are you?
Well, it stopped being early 2 hours ago.
Holy smoke, I clean forgot. I'm supposed to be getting men to fill the payroll here. Say, you fellas wouldn't want to come to work with me, would you?
You better watch your language.
No, I'm serious. The work's not hard. Top dollar. Hey, wait. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give a bottle of whiskey to every man who signs on with me.
Well, why didn't you say that in the first place?
Bring him on.
I wondered when you'd be along.
All right, what's the barrier for, Povey?
Well, you see, I bought myself a piece of timber that goes through here. Now, I wouldn't want to close off a road, but seeing as how I own it, you wouldn't blame me for charging toll, would you?
All right, you name your price, I'll pay it.
I figure $25 a wagon ought to do it.
I figure a poke in the nose would
Take it easy, Dave. $25? Well, that's just fine and dandy, Povey.
Get it.
Okay, open it up.
It's going to cost you $25 every time one of your wagons comes through here. And you're going to need a lot of wagons. I hope you figured that in your bid.
Okay, open it up.
Open it up.
Be careful that log doesn't hit you in the face when it swings back now.
He's bluffing.
What makes you think so?
At $25 a wagon load, that would break him. I saw that bid. He hasn't got enough margin.
The crew you hired? I don't look like much.
Looks ain't everything in a working man, Joe. They're spry and full of spirit.
I can smell that.
I'll whip them into shape. You'll see.
There's no work in them. I know they're kind.
You let me worry about that, mister.
Neither you or me has got this deadline, Donovan.
I'm the foreman. I can handle it.
Brother Adam would send him packing in 5 minutes.
Now, Brother Adam's not bossing this job, Jake. I am. All right, call them in together. I want to talk to them.
All right, you men. Gather on.
All right, let's
Come on.
get on your feet.
Boss
Let's go.
wants to talk to you. Come on.
All right, we got a pretty tough job ahead of us. We're going to build a flume from here to the Truckee River. I'm a fair man. I'm not going to ask any of you to do anything I wouldn't do myself. But I do want a dollar's work for a dollar's pay. We got a deadline on this job. We can meet it if we all pitch in together. We can meet it with time to spare. We're going to work in 2 crews. Loggers will work under Jake Weber. The rest of you men under Dave Donovan. And there'll be no drinking on the job. Any questions? All right, let's get to work.
All right, come on, let's go. All right, men, let's go. Back to work. On a double.
Hey, Dave, you see the bottle?
Sure. You must be dry after a big speech like that. Hey, what's the big idea?
You heard what I just said, no drinking. It goes for everybody.
You're getting kind of hard-nosed, aren't you, boy?
Expecting you to get the same way. Come on, Foreman. I thought you were going to whip these men into shape.
Sure.
down there.
Why, what's going on here? Why aren't your men working?
Maybe it's just because we don't feel so good.
If you don't feel good, go pick up your time. Now, come on, get moving. Dave! Dave Donovan! Come on, move.
Yeah, Joe?
Look, Dave, I want 100 yards of this flume finished by tonight.
100 yards? It's impossible.
It's not impossible if you keep these men working. Now, let's get going.
All right.
Okay, you men, get your backs into it. Let's go!
Because he's a cartwright, he thinks he can push everybody around. How much longer are you going to put up with him?
Till payday. That's tomorrow.
Moving this big stuff is mighty slow work, Joe. We're falling behind.
Yeah, I know, Jake. We can use some more horses.
That sure would help.
All right, I'll leave right away. If I don't get back by tomorrow, I want you to pay the men anyway.
All right. But I don't think them Donovan men are earning their pay.
Jake, don't worry about Dave's men. They're going to do their share of the work.
If you say so.
Hey, Weber. Put yard on timber down at our end. Keep those logs moving.
How's it going, Foreman?
Pretty good.
I'll leave for a day to get a couple more teams of horses. I want you to keep the men working just the way they are.
Right. You can count on me.
Smitty! Come on, be my guest. Whoops! You're wasted. There you go.
Oh, lovely ladies. I tell you, boys, you so associate with the right people, and lady luck begins to shine. Well, sit down, boss. We're celebrating payday.
All right, suppose you all get back to work. That goes for you too, Dave.
Hey, wait a minute. This is old Donovan, remember?
Dave, you're drunk. Now, don't give me any trouble.
Don't give you any trouble. How does it feel to be a big man? Money, giving orders, snapping your fingers and everybody jumping.
I don't know what's got into you, but I'm going to say it just one more time. All of you, get back to work.
We ain't through celebrating yet, are we, boys?
It looks like I just lost a foreman. Pack up your things and get out.
All right. If I leave, my boys go with me.
All right, any of you that want to stay and work, that's fine. If not, you better follow him.
Well, I'm staying. Come on, let's get back to work. Cartwright. Lots of luck. You're gonna need it.
All right, man, let's get to it. Jerry, take your men and finish up down to the southport. Smitty, you and your men get your tools and follow me. Come on now, let's go. Let's go.
There he is, Paul, just like I told you. I've been keeping an eye on him up here.
What do you think?
Still has a long way to go.
Think we ought to help him?
No, that's for him to decide.
Let that little, great, big Joe Cartwright fire you, huh? Can't cut with him, can you, huh? Cartwright's got all the money. Run you right out of town, huh, Dave? Cartwrights are gonna come in town with a gun and go, tell you. Ain't nothing.
I heard Cartwright fired you.
Yeah. Yeah, he tossed me a crumb and he took it away. I thought he was one of us, but I made a mistake. He belongs up there in that big house.
Well, I thought you two were good friends.
Me? I ain't got a big house and a stand of timber and a magic name. I'm just riffraff to the Cartwrights. You know, I learned a long time ago that this is the only true friend a man's got.
How would you like a lot of these true friends?
What's your proposition?
$500 now, and $500 when Joe Cartwright forfeits his bond. Think you can do it?
Mr. Povey, you just bet on a sure thing. You with me?
All the way.
Make sure you got them all secured good, Bobby.
Right, Joe.
Hey, look at that, Jake. Another half a mile and we can start the logs rolling.
I can tell you now, Joe, I never thought you'd do it.
I want to thank you and the men for sticking by me.
Thanks.
Hey, Brennan! What's the matter? You getting tired?
I'm saving my strength to beat your head in when this job's finished.
Yeah, me too.
All right, you both get a chance when the job's finished. We can all sleep for about 3 months.
Everybody down! Come on, clear off the floor. We're sitting ducks up here. Come on, Jake, let's get cover.
Cover me. I'm gonna go take care of that flume.
Get the rifles! Well, come on! You gonna let somebody shoot at you and not do anything about it?
You men stay right where you are. I hired you as loggers, not gunmen.
There's only another half mile of flume to build. We can make it if we fight them off.
Jake, I'm not gonna risk the lives of these men just to fill a lumber contract.
I thought it was you. How's it going, son? What's the matter, boy? Trouble?
trouble than I know what to do with.
Tell me about it.
I don't know what good it'll do to talk about it now.
Hmm? Might do some good. I told you my troubles a time or two.
Well, I made every mistake in the book. I trusted Donovan. I thought I could handle Povey. Well, I handled him all right. He hired some gunmen. They blew up a section of the flume.
Anyone hurt?
I had one man winged. I told Jake and the men to quit. I couldn't ask them to risk their lives.
Hey, Joe, I saw your horse out there when we come out of the barn.
We've run into a little trouble. What are you going to do, give up?
It's not what I want to do. I just don't have any choice. I can't do it alone.
Well, Joe, we're still here. If you need us.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do for 3 or 4 days.
Well, free as a bird. Yeah, I got about a dozen men sitting around doing nothing but collecting wages.
Oh. Well, let's go, then.
What a blow, huh?
There he is.
Povey, Crawford.
Lieutenant.
I'd have been here a little sooner, but I've been out doing a little celebrating. I'm here for the other 500.
Well, you almost made it, Donovan.
Well, what do you mean by that? That whole Cartwright crew moved out when I blasted that flume.
The trouble is, you're only half right. Crawford here went up to check on Cartwright's progress. Well, his crew left all right. But while you were out celebrating, they've come back.
Not only Weber and his crew, but the whole Cartwright family and all their ranch hands.
His family? But Joe would never ask them.
You just made another mistake. He asked them all right.
Just hold that second 500. I'll get them.
You figuring on taking that whole crowd on by yourself?
One at a time.
You must want that extra 500 awful bad.
No. No, it's not the 500. It's a personal thing now.
Well, you know, I think Adam's idea will work.
Yeah.
Boss, Adam, how about getting started on that A-frame right away?
Right.
Jake, you should take these group of men down to the unfinished lower section and get it finished right away.
All right, boys, let's get going. I better get a block and falls from camp.
I'll get them. You get down there and make sure they get started. Hey, Jake. Tell the men thanks for coming back for me.
We're glad to be back, Joe.
Hey, how about being foreman for me while I'm gone?
Sure, I'd be glad to, boss.
All right, you heard what the boss said. Let's get to work.
Family man.
What do you want, Dave?
Well, now, I thought I wanted some money. But now I want more than that.
All right, exactly what is it that you want?
I wonder what that fine family of yours is gonna think when they come up here and find you. Of course, your pa's got 2 other sons. He won't miss you much.
All right, Dave, come on. Come on.
Where's Keaton Joe?
I don't know.
Fight.
Thanks, Pa.
What brought this on?
I figured I could take you. Finally had to bring your family in, didn't you?
That's right, I called him.
I guess that's where I made my mistake. I figured they'd let you down. The way my family let me down.
Will you knock it off? I'm sick and tired of hearing the way your family let you down. Did you ever stop to think for 1 minute maybe you let them down? But you might have let a lot of people down. The only help you're gonna understand you're gonna get from Sheriff Coffey.
Well, looks like they did it, boy.
No, we did it, Pa.
Eee, look at that.
Well, I guess you won't be needing us anymore.
What do you mean I won't be needing you anymore? We're not the 3 greatest workers in the world, but I can't beat the price.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người. Và hôm nay bên em lại về một chiếc xe Kia Morning, xe van động cơ 1.0 số tự động, xe van màu đỏ, rất phù hợp với phụ nữ. Xe này là xe 2 chỗ, động cơ 1.0, nói chung là rất là tiết kiệm xăng. Morning là một trong những dòng của Kia, nhỏ gọn, tiết kiệm nhiên liệu, giá thành rẻ, đi phố rất là phù hợp, nhỏ gọn. Và con này thì nó cũng hơi bị bốc sinh một chút đấy, ăn sắt xi, vì vậy là giá của em nó rất là phải chăng. Tuy nhiên trước khi báo giá, em sẽ quay tổng thể chiếc xe. Xe van thì là rằng rất là đẹp đấy. Về che mưa, xe màu đỏ